Okay, in this lesson of the tutorial, we'll go ahead and adjust our mesh a little bit more here, and then we'll go ahead and start sculpting. But as you can see, I've brought in an eye mesh there, and this is to go ahead and place it so I can adjust the mesh around the eye and make sure that it's, you know, in the correct shape that I want for my sculpting here. So let's go ahead and I'll go ahead and place the eye here. I'm simply just hitting W on the keyboard to go ahead and move the eye, and then E to go ahead and scale the eye down. And right there, it looks like it's okay, but I need to adjust it a little bit more here. And that looks good there. I'll go ahead and place where the pupil is, or where it needs to be there. And we'll go ahead and adjust the mesh so that we can have the eye placed properly. And for sculpting wise, I just, you know, tend to use the standard brush, the Damien standard brush, the clay brush, the smooth brush, obviously, the inflate brush, and basically just, you know, sort of doodle and see what works, and just go from there, and mainly just go on feel. As you can see, I'm smoothing out some parts of the mesh here that have a pinching effect going on, or a little bit too sharp in terms of, you can see an edge. And I'm constantly adjusting the mesh, you know, whether it's after sculpting a piece and it just doesn't fit right, and then I'll just adjust it a little bit. Or I'll try and change the mesh a little bit, and, you know, it's just going on feel here. I'm turning on the topological mask there for the move brush, and this allows me to grab a more refined piece of the mesh. It tends to be a more accurate piece of the mesh that you can grab, instead of the actual move brush without it, where you're grabbing the entire mesh. This tends to be a little bit more, you know, like I said, accurate, and you can grab a smaller piece of the mesh. The lower the number for it, the more accurate the way to grab the mesh will actually be. And as you can see, I'm constantly trying to refine the shape of the body to make sure that, you know, it's going to be the shape that I want. And it's mainly because you have to have a really good base in terms of, you know, what you want in terms of sculpt to actually sculpt on. At least that's the way that I work. And now we can go ahead and start sculpting here. I'm just simply using the standard brush to basically just block in some forms. And I have the symmetry in the X direction turned on. And I'm basically just blocking in some form around the eye. To try and refine the shape a little bit. And it just take a little bit of time to go ahead and get a shape that you want and try to get in some details that you want. I'm just trying to go with what's going to work here, or what I think's going to work, or what looks good here. As you can see, I'm constantly using the move brush and adjusting the mesh to try and get the shape that I want. Or a shape that I actually like. It's just basically blocking in some forms, is basically what I'm doing here. And I'm trying to cut in, where I'm going to place the mouth. Just trying to visualize where I want to place the mouth whenever it comes time to go ahead and bring that in. Go ahead and put that on the mesh. And as you can see, I'm using the Damien standard brush to try and add a little bit of detail here. Then I'll smooth back a little bit. adjust the mesh a little bit more for the eye, the eyelid here. Turn off our topological mask because I don't think we're going to use it again here. And this is basically trying to get this a shape that you're happy with, and a form that I think is what works in 3D or in CG, and just go from there. I mean, it's very useful to just try to go with the flow, especially when you're trying to concept something in 3D or in CG. As you can see, I'm constantly trying to refine the shape as needed here. And it's looking good so far. Try to refine that shape a little bit more here. And right now we have some pretty good shape to the overall sculpt here, and it's looking good. next lesson we'll come back and we'll go ahead and continue sculpting.